I'm sure that you know that flattery will get you everywhere in life, but did you know it can do the same thing for your software? However, is flattery just a cheap trick, or can it actually elevate user experiences and even delude users into thinking that your digital products are better than they actually are? Today, let's discuss the science of flattery in digital products, and together we will discover the truth behind dishonest compliments in interactive design. Today, we're taking a closer look at flattery in software and interactive design. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Brian Kugelman, and I'm a specialist in using psychology and behavioral science for tech. So, flattery is a technique that's as old as nudging gets, which is why you'll find warnings against its seductive powers in ancient texts. And even the prince of manipulation himself, Machiavelli, wrote a chapter on why flatterers should be shunned. In this video, we're going to cover what flattery is. I'll go through a couple of examples of flattery in digital products. We'll talk about the science of flattery, and we'll end by looking at how you can use flattery effectively, but also ethically. If you find the insights in this video helpful, I'd be totally grateful for a thumbs up. So let's get going. Let's start by defining what flattery is. It's a fake compliment designed to make people feel good about themselves, but it's a strategic type of lie. It's a lie to build a stronger relationship with someone. When you flatter somebody, you make them feel good about you because you're the person delivering emotionally rewarding magic words about how great and how wonderful they are. But it's also a lie to make people feel good about something else and to change their behavior. So, for instance, when a salesperson tells you, "That shirt makes you look awesome," so they might be telling you their honest opinion, but also they might be lying to you because that's going to help them make a commission. So they're lying to you to make money. Their gain is your loss. And so it's acting in their interest, not in your interest. So I don't believe that honesty is just categorical. Rather, I think people operate on scales from more honest to less honest, or from more deceptive to less deceptive. But at its core sits integrity, and this is where a person's honesty is more about whether they're acting in your interest or their interest, or what a person with integrity does who's also wise will act in the interest of everybody. So flattery is a fake compliment that someone uses to get something, and that's its most basic definition. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. So here we got a dating app, and check this out. So they say, "You're a total catch. See all the people who like you by joining the A-list." Well, of course I'm a total catch. You can clearly see it. They told me. But guess what happens? I have to pay money for this. So they're using flattery to sucker me in on the dating site and then to get me to pull out my credit card. This was a Facebook app, and you would go in and then it would say who your celebrity doppelganger was. And look, she's the perfect likeness of Beyonce, and you can see it in here. And of course, when you do something like this and it's flattering, you're much more likely to share it, right? Like, say, she didn't look like Beyonce, but someone else. I don't think I would have seen her sharing it. So I tried it out. And for me, I got actually a surprisingly different situation. So this showed scientifically that I'm the perfect likeness of George Clooney, right? Because you can see how I have those Hollywood qualities to me. And this has been scientifically proven. So when I shared it, it wasn't because I'm a sucker for flattery. It's because it's actually the truth. So it was a little bit different when I did it versus my friend. So I don't know if this is a good example. So let's just go to the next one. Here we got booking.com. So check this out. So right at the top here, they say, "Brian Kugelman, genius, level 3. And so they've got their discount and they call it genius, right? And they put it right next to my name to try and make this association. Oh, if you do this, you're like a smart person, right? What if they had called that cheap bastard, right? This is the cheap bastard discount, and they put that next to my name, right? I might not have the same appeal, would it, right? So I'm a genius for using it, not a cheap bastard. And of course, then they put it next to different things. So if you buy this, you're like a smart shopper is what they're implying here. So there's something interesting. So this is actually a feature that they have had for almost a decade. So let me show you something. So I've been teaching this for quite a while, and this is an old slide. So it's from 2015 over here, and it's now 2024. So this is about 9 years old. Maybe this was out about a year earlier or so. So let's round it to a decade. And they haven't changed it. And this is the thing. In applied psychology, when you figure out what is really contributing to the success of a design pattern, what you will realize is that as a company changes their site, they make all these changes, they cannot remove those. If they remove them, they can lose too much money. So they will not take it out. And this was one of those examples where almost a decade later, still, they have not removed this. Next, let's look at a couple of bad applications. I don't think this is how you want to do it, but check out this. We think you're pretty great. Now do our survey. So, like, nice haircut. Can I borrow some money? And here's the same thing. So, thanks for your review. You're the best. Do you mind doing us a couple of favors? It might work a little bit, but I wouldn't call this a stylistic application. There are a lot of scientific papers on flattery, and it's really interesting to psychologists because even when people know they're being lied to, flattery still seems to work. But rather than going into the details about the science, let's just take a look at an old classic study from a couple of my favorite scientists, Clifford Nass and BJ Fogg. Their study, Silicon Psychopaths, the effects of computers that flatter, is one of my favorite. And their study showed that flattery works on humans when delivered by other people, but also when delivered by computers. And what I liked about this paper is that it gives us more detailed clues about the unexpected ways that flattery can delude your users to love your products more than they actually should. Here I have an example of the main table where you'll get a lot of the insights from this paper. So let's take a closer look at it. So we have the black at the bottom, the gray, and the white. So the black is the flattery condition. And so that's after you played multiple rounds of the game, you might be told, oh, you did a great job, or hey, excellent work, way to go. So it was very positive. And then you could also get generic feedback. So the generic feedback condition was, you have completed the task. You have done step one. I'm not going to bother with the true praise condition. So if you read the paper, it was a little bit confounded, and it also did come out almost exactly the same. So let's only compare the black and the gray. So a flattery condition, nice job, great condition, you completed the step. So in terms of positive affect, so a positive emotion, you could see the difference. So when people were being flattered, they felt much better about the software. So they had a better feeling overall about using that piece of software. This one I love. Feelings of power. So power means empowerment or self-confidence. And that's one of the core drivers of behavior. So if people feel empowered, that is an excellent product that you have built. And obviously we had a little bit of a boost there. So I would say, take it, use it. That's great. So users' perception of their own performance. This one is not what you would expect, but they actually thought that they had done better themselves. I'm not sure why that happened, but there you go. The effect of flattery. Users' enjoyment. So obviously flattery feels good. So it's probably no surprise that then that positive affect rubs off on the software, and that changes the user experience. And then you actually enjoy yourself more. This is unbelievable. Users' willingness to continue working, much higher. And this one is my favorite. So their evaluation of the computer's performance. So this is judgment of the software. They actually like software better when it flatters them. A lot of these are not what you expect. This is an old study and it was a very small sample size, and it's a bit like old school. So this is more desktop, but these are very interesting insights, and I love this old classic paper. Let's now explore what flattery really is so that we can learn how to use it both strategically and with integrity. To better understand what flattery actually is, consider it from a behavioral science perspective with this question. What is the opposite of flattery? So many people would probably say that it's a compliment. So it's when you show authentic appreciation to a person. So flattery can be flipped on dishonesty, honesty, between dishonest flattery and honest compliments. But there's also another way to look at it. So let's take a look at this model here. So at the top, we have rewards. So this is where you say something that's rewarding and then therefore reinforcing someone's behavior at the top. And so if it's honest, you're complimenting someone. You're saying, you've completed a task. That was awesome. Way to go. You've achieved this difficult outcome. We're really proud of you. So that's where you're actually giving someone a compliment in a way that will strengthen their likelihood of repeating that behavior. Now, flattery is different. So flattery is where you try and get someone to feel rewarded, but not for the right thing, at least not in their interest. You're doing it in your own interest. You can also be using it when someone is making a step towards something and maybe they haven't achieved it, but that's something we would call encouragement, which is a little bit different. And an honest criticism is something we use to shape behavior. So if you give someone feedback and you say, look, you made a mistake, but you can do it better. That's intending to help them get to somewhere. It's giving them feedback so they can get better at something. So that's an honest criticism. Now, an insult is when you say something negative to someone, not related to anything real. So it's that's what we call degrading someone or putting them down. So it's similar to flattery. So the other way of looking at the opposite is that the opposite of flattery from a reinforcement perspective is the insult. So the flattery is the fake compliment to get them to do something. And insults are also used by this. This is right from the Narcissist's Handbook. So if someone actually does the right thing and you degrade them on that or you insult them, then what you're doing is you're lowering the odds that they will do that thing again. And so it's often also used to sabotage people and to cause harms. My final warning is that wise people generally will see through flattery. And although it often works on people who know it, it doesn't necessarily boost your brand very much. And the moment people feel like they're being manipulated, their entire judgment of you and your brand can very well invert. I've seen this so many times in testing. So brand trust shifts instantly to distrust. Loyalty can lead to disloyalty, and some users may start to fear that you're out to exploit them. So the damage to your brand is never really worth the risk. And why would you even bother with this anyways, when often all it takes is polite, friendly language and showing authentic appreciation that will produce the same results, but it will do so in a way that's ethical, that will feel good to you, and that will help you build a trustworthy brand. If you have any thoughts or opinions on the content in this video, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on flattery. Let me know. Any comments below, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And if you appreciated this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up as well. And subscribe to my channel if you are interested in psychology and technology. So I really appreciate it that you've made it this far, and it was amazing having you here. So until the next time, bye now.